so much in order to develop the present pedagogical principles, which are giving so much of confidence for the classroom teacher to teach the students effectively, and at the same time ascertaining that his teaching is fruitful in making the students learn. But somehow or other, the last 2 decades, we have not seen much progress in the area of teacher education. Even the national education policy also highlights that whatever the expectations we had towards the regulatory bodies, those expectations were not met properly. This is also another observation made in our national education policy. But whatever it may be, I am extremely happy that the PACE has taken so much of lead in order to organize this program, because either to the teacher education institutions are not coming for accreditation. Therefore, the quality mandate is very, very important. Unless you check the quality internally, as well as you check the quality externally by an accrediting agencies, it is very difficult to say whether you are moving in the right direction or not. It is very difficult to say whether you are meeting the challenges of our teacher education. It is very difficult to say whether our teacher education programs are on par with the global standard. Therefore, my special appreciation to Dr. Dayanand and all of you for having taken this initiative. Now, as you know, I am also in the Naac as an academic expert in the research analysis wing. We have brought out a lot of publications. And recently, we brought out the manual for teacher education. I think most of you are aware. Autonomous college, we have got a separate manual, and for general teacher education also, we are having a separate manual. The national education policy wants to give a lot of importance to teacher education. That's why they are expecting that every university should have a department of teacher education, wherein they can run the 2 years B.Ed program, 1 year B.Ed program, if possible, 4 years in that program. Thereby, encouraging the people to take the teacher education forward in order to induce the people who are there in the general higher education or tertiary education. Therefore, here it is the real time for all of us to think how best the quality can be enhanced. Usually we think of assessment. We keep the quality sustenance on one hand, quality enhancement on the other hand. Quality maintenance also is equally important. All the three are equally important. Quality enhancement, quality sustenance, and at the same time, quality maintenance. Unless we address these issues very seriously, I don't think that the teacher education will be having any bright future. Sorry for my critical words. It is a fact, because sometimes the truth is always bitter. Therefore, I wanted to request all of you, those who are here, kindly see how best we can struggle, including myself, to take the flag of teacher education to a greater height, so that whatever the glory we had in the past about teacher education, we have to bring it back and make people to know that teacher education is something unique, which is responsible in developing the human resources. I think these are the few introductory remarks that I wanted to make in the beginning. And National Assessment Accreditation Council is open for teacher education to come for the voluntarily for accrediting their institutions. So far only, I think around 10 or 12 teacher education institutions have come. We are ready with the manual. I do not know the reasons why they are not coming. As you all know, the responsibility was also given to the Quality Council of India, but they were not able to take it further. Therefore, we told to the UGC that we are ready, and we are ready to accredit the teacher education institutions. Therefore, the manual, everything is ready. The standard operating procedure for teacher education is also ready. I think through Devanandan, I'm requesting you, sir, kindly encourage teacher education institutions to come forward for accreditation. Let them come. Of course, sir. Yeah, definitely. My sincere request is that. And though we had the gap here, we had the gap here and there, does not matter. Institutions can write a letter to the director stating that due to the earlier circumstances, we are not able to submit our the reports, like AQR reports, annual quality assurance reports, we could not, gap is there, and kindly waive off the gap. Definitely they do it, Therefore, partly you can submit the hard copy for the gap. And now onwards, we are expecting the AQR reports to be submitted online through soft copies only. I think we are ready to help at the Naac. Please encourage them. Otherwise, I think the quality is very difficult to check. I think the Naac, you are all very comfortable with the Naac procedure. All over India, we have done accreditations for universities as well as colleges. There are various kinds of, recently manuals have come separately for health sciences. We have got a separate manual. Sanskrit, we have got a separate manual. Yoga, we have got a separate manual. For law, people are asking about a separate manual that is also there. In that way, Naac is looking and coming forward in order to help the institutions to come forward, because once when the institutions come forward, they will try to know where they are, what are their weaknesses, in what direction that they have to go, and which are the sources from where that they can get the help. I think this is my humble request for after having served more than 3 decades in the area of teacher education very actively. I am bringing it to a kind notice in the initial stage. Then let me just straight away forward to my area. I think you have given the 7th criteria for me to discuss. I would like to share my PPT and then start straight away with that. So I think I can share now, sir. Post disabled.
Yes, yeah. I will make you.
Yeah, please, sir. No, not yet.
Well, I am making, sir. Making.
Yes.
Sir, now you can share, sir.
Yeah. Sir, now it's clear, no?
Yeah, it's clear, sir. Please
Okay.
proceed.
Yeah. Sir, I think I would like to start a little brief
please, sir.
explanation starting from our Naac only. Naac has been carrying out the process of quality assessment accreditation of higher education institutions over the past 2.5 decades. Now, almost 25 years, Naac has completed in this particular process of accrediting higher education institutions. Several HAs have gone through this process, and a sizable number has also undergone subsequent cycles of accreditation. Now, I think according to our statistics, nearly 365 universities have been accredited by Naac, around 8,910 colleges. But however, the expectations are quite high from Ministry of Education as well as from UGC. But because of various reasons, we are not able to increase the number. Even during COVID-19 period, we have come out with the different strategies by means of which people can come for accreditation. And then it is true to its comments for promoting quality culture in higher education institutions in consonance with the overall developments in the field of education as well as outside the world. Naac has tried to be sensitive to these.
Excuse me, sir. Say, my dear participants, and many times we requested you to mute your mic. If you are continuing, Vivo 1820, please mute your mic. Otherwise, I will have to remove you. SRIKANTASWAMY sir, please remove Vivo 1820.
What, sir? When?
You can remove Vivo 1820 because you are the host now. Please.
1 minute, sir. Where should I go there?
No, you please proceed because they have.
I think I'll go, sir. Okay. The A&A process of Naac continues to be an exercise in partnership of higher education institutions. The A&A process of Naac is being revised, and this revision attempts to enhance such a partnership with the HAS. Now, friends, as you all know, the stakeholders are also giving a lot of feedback to the Naac process. And whatever that they are sharing, which we can consider on a rational basis, on a scientific basis, to that extent, the Naac is modifying its manual. Initially, around 34 key indicators we had, and around 135 metrics we had for university manual. And now it is slightly changing from university to the college. The number of metrics are changing because we have received a lot of feedback from the institutions that certain things are not applicable to us. Therefore, why are you going to make us to attempt those and those marks? Therefore, Naac has considered and then that it keeps on revising its manual. Even for teacher education, you can just see, you can go to our Naac website and you can just see teacher education manual is slightly different. It is customized, keeping the teacher education program in mind. And it is altogether different when compared to the college manual, which you can just see. I was also there at the back by sharing my experience from the field of teacher education to structure the teacher education manual. Now, another important landmark in the A&A process of Naac is we brought out the revised accreditation framework in the year July 2017. Before that, we had a different pattern. From 2017 onwards, we have got a different pattern. And before 2017, peer team had a lot of freedom. The complete assessment responsibility was given to the peer team before 2017. From July 2017 onwards, there is a change, which I am going to discuss a little bit later. Over years, the feedback procured from the higher education institutions and also from other stakeholders and the developments in the national scene all have contributed in making appropriate revisions in the process so as to accelerate the process with greater quality rigor. Now, a lot of quality rigor is there. We are going with that quality rigor because it should not become a one-way process. We always depend upon the feedback from the higher education institutions so that the quality will be always better. We are proceeding in that particular direction. Now, the revised assessment accreditation, maybe some of you are interested to know what is this RA of 2017. In what way it has brought change? Few points are here for you to note. It represents an explicit paradigm shift, making it ICT enabled. Therefore, nowadays, everything is ICT enabled. Friends, you must be knowing, before 2017, those institutions who wanted to come for accreditation, those who wanted to come for accreditation, they were supposed to submit their SSR hard copy only. From 2017, everything is through ICT driven and you have to upload only the soft copy. I think that's a beautiful change we have done. And it is more objective, more transparent, scalable, and robust in nature. The shift is from qualitative peer judgment to data-based quantitative indicator evaluation with increased objectivity and transparency. That is why after 2017 onwards, we are getting more and more applications from higher education institutions to come forward because they believe that this procedure is far better compared to the earlier one. And there are a few more points to share here towards extensive use of ICT confirming scalability and robustness. ICT is used for the purpose of assessment also. No individual's intervention here. No officer can intervene very frequently here. That's why I said ICT. Provide the data, the ICT will take care of. Assessment also will be done by the ICT. In terms of simplification of the process, drastic reduction in number of questions, size of the report, visit days, and so on. Now, I think earlier number of days were more. Now we are calculating how many days visit should be there, depending upon the size of the institution. Then apart from that, the number of questions are also we are reducing. For affiliated colleges, we have given the option. If you feel that these questions are not applicable to you, you need not answer. Supposing the total marks average weightage is 1000, and those are opting 50 marks question that they are saying that they are not eligible. Therefore, the total marks will be 950. Upon 950, only the assessment will be done. CGPA will be given to them. That option is also there. In terms of boosting benchmarking as quality improvement tool, this has been attempted through comparison of Naac indicators with other international QA frameworks also. Therefore, we are also keeping our framework, quality indicator framework, we call it as QIF, with the other quality indicator frameworks of other countries. And we are having some kind of check that ours should be better. In that way, we are monitoring this. Then, introducing pre-qualifier for peer team visit. This is also very interesting for every one of you to know. Once when you submit your SSR, there are some quantitative metrics where you are given the data with a lot of evidences. The ICT-driven mechanism will go through it. They assess based upon the answers, whatever you are given for those questions. And earlier, when you used to get more than 30% only, you will be asked to come for the next stage of assessment recognition process earlier. Now, many people said, why in the initial stage you wanted to filter us? Why can't you give some concession? With the result, 25% is the entry passing marks like. Therefore, if an institution submit the SSR, even if they get 25%, it is more than enough for them to go to the next stage of A&A process. This is one important change that I wanted to bring you to a kind notice. Kindly keep this. And whenever you are submitting your SSR, this will be updated. Then introducing the system generated scores, as I said, the scores are not assessed by anyone and giving a score. We feed the information of the system, and system itself will be generating the score. And about 70% of the marks for your QNM is given through this system generated scores at the Naac. Devan sir, I think I'm just spending 1 or 2 minutes for this because this will enable many people to have confidence and come forward for accreditation.
Of course, sir. Of course, sir. Of course. Sir.
Yeah. Therefore, now the moment when they submit their SSR, 70% are QNMs. QNMs means quantity only we ask, like the number of PhD holders or the ratio between the grades and the number of students who got their PhD. Like that, we have got 70% of the questions where we are asking for numerical data only, numerical data. Number of students, number of faculty members, the number of awards received, like that, everything in terms of quantitative data. This 70% of the quant data will be assessed by the Naac, and your scores will be ready in the Naac. In the Naac system, all your scores will be ready for 70% of the marks. And then we have got other procedures like wherever we have got some kind of doubt regarding the documents you have provided, documents which are not sufficient, we have got a separate unit known as DVB. Data validation and verification, we have got one DVB unit. And this information, wherever the ICT unit gets some doubt, they send these queries to the DVB. DVB in turn asks the institutions, kindly provide this information to us. That is called DVB queries. And once when the DVB queries are met and you have cleared that, then you can go for the next stage, wherein they are asking you to get the student satisfaction survey report. We are sending that questionnaire to you with 21 questions, 20 multiple choice, and 1 is the open-ended question. And your student should answer. 10% or 500 for the universities. And for the teachers' colleges, probably we are taking around 100, maybe all the 100. Therefore, we are sending this the student satisfaction survey the questions to all the students and asking them to answer it and send direct to the Naac, and Naac will be doing one level of assessment. Therefore, your SSR, wherein the 70% of your quantum metrics will be assessed by the system-driven mechanism. Then we have got the student satisfaction survey where 21 questions answers given by your students about your teaching, learning, etc. It will be assessed by the Naac. Then whatever the details you are providing with respect to the publication and journals, how many articles you have published, all those details, we refer to Inflibinet and ask their opinion regarding this. Because some of them must have published in a predatory journals. Quality may not be good. Inflibinet will just certify whether these articles are published in a index journals or Scopus index journals or Web of Sciences. That assessment also will go. And once the DV clearance, then the student satisfaction survey is clear and received by the Naac, and assessment is being made, and intermediate assessment, then they give a green signal for them to go to the next stage of paying the fees and then asking the date for the peer team visit. Now, friends, here one more important change. Earlier, these institutions saying, sir, we used to put the red carpet for the peer team members to come because complete assessment responsibility they had complete control over it. Now, in the revised accreditation framework, 70% of your assessment has already been done at the Naac level and it will be there in the machine. Only 30% marks we are waiting for the qualitative data. For that purpose, the peer team has to visit your institution in a face-to-face manner. They have to interact with you and they have to collect some kind of documents verified, for which we have given only 30% weightage. It is something like our general theory paper. We have got 80% theory marks and 20% for practicals, you know. Somewhat like that, we have got 70%. Everything has been assessed here and 30% marks only for the peer team. Therefore, you need not worry. You need not have any kind of fear about the presence of peer team. They have been assessed, they have been trained, they have been oriented, and thereby they are coming with more objectivity to your institutions. Already they have got one level of data with us now. Your SSR already it has reached them. They will read and they'll come. In that way, we say that present system is institution-friendly system. That point I wanted to highlight at this stage. Then in providing appropriate differences in the metrics, weightages, and benchmarks to universities, I think that's why I said for universities, some metrics are quite different. For colleges, that they are different because universities can design their own curriculum, whereas the colleges cannot design. Therefore, they can implement in that way. Small differences are there with respect to the metrics or the questions what we are asking for the university people and as well as for the colleges. And similarly for the teacher education colleges, whatever applicable for teacher education only, such metrics we have retained. In revising several metrics to bring in enhanced participation of students and alumni in the assessment process. It is a holistic approach and it is something like getting the information from alumni, getting the information from stakeholders. And if you say we are doing very well, our teaching is good, nobody will appreciate nowadays. Already your teaching is good. What about your students learning? They want to check. Second one, they say whether the parents are happy about your institution. In that way, the modern approach is quite different and almost 360-degree evaluation is considered here. For us, everybody is important, keeping the total quality management practices. There was another point that I'm sharing that Naac is interested in collecting all possible data based on which only you will be given the grade, A++ or A+ grade, depending upon whatever the marks that you have got it and whatever the evidences. And here evidences only will speak, and that's what I wanted to share through you. Therefore, we keep the evidences. If evidences are fine, automatically you will be getting the marks. That's why it is an evidence-based approach. Therefore, whenever you are asked to give the data, please think twice or thrice. We have given a data template regarding how you have to give the data, sometimes 2 years data, sometimes 5 years data, sometimes 7 years data. In that way, we want you to go through it, discuss with your expert members and try to arrive. In case you are having any kind of problem, we are having a help desk. 24 hours they work. Any kind of query you are sent to, you can send the query in 2 ways. One to the help desk directly, you can ask query, they will answer, or they will connect to the concerned officer, he is going to explain to you. And the other approach would be, each one of you will be given a portal. You will be having your own login IDs where you can go and you can ask support at it is there. You can ask your questions, then they are going to answer the questions immediately. Therefore, you can test and you can try. Therefore, these are all friendly approaches wherein the institution need not have any kind of fear. They can directly come and they can get all kinds of information. The extreme case of Dayanand sir, if you feel that there is a need to orient the people like how you are orienting, you want to orient them in a formal way, through your association, you can write a letter to our director saying that in 4 zones, we wanted to organize a program, orientation program, We invite one or two Naac officers also, plus our experts also will be there. You want some kind of financial assistance, if you ask, they are ready to give. Therefore, please keep these aspects. And I request you to take this lead and see how best we can push and move and motivate and energize our teacher education institutions to come forward. Otherwise, I am afraid they will work in isolation. Working in isolation will not get any kind of strength, nor any kind of visibility. Therefore, we have to empower them. I use the word, we have to empower them. I think this also I would like to just share. And the quality indicators, when I am talking about it, as you all know, Naac has come out based upon his experience. At least 7 criteria we have to keep in mind, 7 criteria. And with these 7 criteria, if we can do the assessment, that means we are doing justice in assessing quality of education provided in teacher education institutions. I think these are the important criteria what we consider the Naac, and most of you are all familiar, because many institutions have gone for first cycle, they may get little less marks or less grade. Second time that they may improve upon, provided that they are stable and steady. Third cycle, still some of them have improved. And those who are going to get a better grade of A+ or A++, RUSA is there, they are going to give grants in terms of crores that they are going to get. Therefore, a lot of benefits are there. Many people are not aware about the benefits of coming for accreditation. One is, some of the managements may not agree to bring change in their own organizational climate. But Naac is coming, Naac is visiting, means automatically they also will just bow down and they say, all right, what you want, we give all kinds of support, change it. Therefore, because of Naac interventions, I have seen infrastructure has been expanded like anything. Then the computer labs have been extended, expanded. Many things, many changes have happened. We are moving in a change-driven society. We are there. Without change, I think nothing development can happen. We have to make sure. Now, here the 7 criteria. One is about the curricular aspect. Second is about teaching, learning, and evaluation. Third one is regarding research, innovations, and extension, very important criteria. Then infrastructure and learning resources, student support and progression. Then governance, your leadership and management, how they are functioning also is equally important. And lastly, about institutional values and best practices. These are the 7 criteria we have kept. And within the criteria, slight modification we have done all these years, small modification. For example, research, innovation, and extension. Innovation has been given more emphasis. Extension has been given more emphasis. Then the last criteria, institutional values. Values are equally important. Without values, we cannot give good education to the students. And even best practices, many people are doing, and we are not taking note of those best practices. With the result, they say, why we have to work, sir? We brought so many changes, so many best practices are there. Nobody is there to recognize. But Naac says, don't worry, we are here. If you are having such practices now, send those practices, because we are bringing small booklets in the name of best practice series. Best practice series under many best practice pertaining to management, we have brought out one book. Best practice pertaining to assessment, we have brought one more book. Like that, many informations are available. Now, these are the 7 criteria. I think whatever the information you are providing to the Naac, all those informations are based upon these 7 criteria only. Then based upon these 7 criteria, we have come up with around 34 key indicators. Like they are the key indicators. They will tell you if achievement is there in these key indicators, automatically quality will be there. Then under each key indicator, we have got the metrics. This is our structure. Therefore, we have got criteria. Below that, we have got key indicators. Under each key indicator, we have got the matrix. Then under the matrix, we have got one more classification. Some of them are called QNM, quantitative matrix, and some of them are called qualitative matrix. And equal weightage have been given, and we have got a benchmark regarding assessing your performance. We have got a benchmark as a reference. Like number of articles should be published in a high index journal. How many should be there? Based upon the tryout, we'll just say, if somebody gets this particular number, 4 marks can be given. Somebody published this number, 3 marks can be given, 2 marks can be given. Like that, between 0 to 4 rating scale, assessment will be given. And for each criteria, we have got a weightage marks like 100, 250, 350, like that. And totally it comes to 1000 marks weightage. And out of 1000 now, how much each institution is going to get, depending upon that. That's called CGPA. Depending upon that, we give the grade as A++, A+. Then last one is also there, C and D. The last one is wherein we say institution has come for accreditation, but they are not accredited. There are few cases wherein they have come because without preparation they have come, without evidences that they have come. Therefore, such few, very small in number, they have come, but they have not been accredited. Otherwise, 95% of the cases where they have been accredited and they have moved under different levels in the particular scale. Now, I think this is the second part I want to discuss during my presentation here. First part, my expectations about teacher education. Second part, what the Naac is doing in brief. Then the third part, under the criteria, you asked me, sir, kindly share some of the information regarding the next 1 minute. Kindly share the specific information we want, some specific inputs we want regarding each criteria. That is how you have invited different experts and you are given this criteria distributed among them. And today, my concern is to speak on the institutional values and best practices. Now, friends, I am here. Institutional values and best practice is the seventh criteria. This is the seventh criteria. The role of the institution is reflected in terms of the kinds of programs, activities, and preferences that it incorporates with its regular function. The extent to which an institution is impactful is a sure reflection of its quality. Now, friends, very important. How do you say an institution is a very good institution? Is it through its infrastructure? Oh, it has got a nice building, nice ambience is there. Depending upon that, are you going to just conclude that it is a good institution? Or you can say this here is an institution which gets 100% result all these years. Is it your reference point by means of which you wanted to say that it is a good institution? Or you wanted to say here is an institution which is getting continuously A grade from the accrediting agencies. Rather, different people will look at the institution from different angle. But the last criteria says, whatever the good activities that the institution is doing, program the institution is doing, collaboration the institution is doing, the healthy atmosphere, healthy eco-friendly atmosphere that it is maintaining, depending upon that, stakeholders are there in order to say that here is a good institution. We want to put our children to this institution. Now you can see how many teaching institutions are there. As all of us know, some of them have come like mushrooms. How many days they retain? Whatever their sustenance here. Many have come and many have gone like that only. But there are institutions which have started 50, 60 years back. The institution where I was working in 1953, they started 53, 54. But they are doing very well. And at the same time, few institutions which have started very recently, they are also doing very well. Because they have acquainted themselves with these procedures. Therefore, first point here, I'm just saying that your institution should reflect some of your good practices. The reflection makes other stakeholders to be induced by it and they come forward. Every institution has a mandate to be responsive to at least a few pressing issues such as gender. A good institution should address the gender issue, gender equity. Then environmental consciousness it should have. As an NCT member, I have gone to several places earlier. But I have seen beautiful land they're having. Open space is there. Not even few trees are there. Not even few plants are there. Is it so difficult for them to plant this? Under social forestry scheme, I think forest department is ready to give free of cost certain saplings or what you call that plants. But initiative is not there. Motivation is not there. Therefore, a good institution means it should be responsive to the gender equity, environmental consciousness, sustainability, inclusiveness, and professional ethics. I think these are very important terminologies. Now, you're all from different teacher education background. Kindly keep these aspects and check how do you address the gender equity in your own institution? And how do you add an aesthetic sense to your campus? I have seen Harvard University. I have gone to MIT, Massachusetts of Technology. And then Stanford, I've heard so much about it. Then Austin, I've just visited 2 or 3 institutions, including Harlington universities. The moment when you enter the campus, you will be having a different vibrations like. The moment when you go, you feel a different atmosphere altogether. If you come to Bangalore, if you enter Indians of Science, altogether you get a different feeling, Do you create that kind of atmosphere for the students? Earlier, you used to say, sir, we do not have money. Money is not a problem. There are different agencies who are there to help you. Paramarsh scheme also will help you if you want to go for accreditation. Paramarsh scheme, they get a lot of around 30 to 32 lakhs for an institution which is interested to mentor the other institution. Free of cost, you can get some kind of support from them. Therefore, friends, I can speak quite a lot. Therefore, the campus, if you are having 100 acres of land, of course, in teacher education, we are assisting 5 acres, I am aware about it. But I'm saying if you are having 100 acres of land, 70% they say open field, green campus, 30% only building should be there. In America, almost 70% is for car parking only they spend because every student goes with a car, without car in some season, difficult for him to reach the university. Anyhow, I can speak. The message I have given is environmental, eco-friendly, environmental consciousness you should have, sustainability idea you should have, inclusive concept you should have, then professional ethics is equally important. One is professionalism, another one we call it as professional ethics. I think some of the management institutions, Devan sir, some of the management institutions which have started after 1980s, 90s, they are doing so very well. I do not know. Financially, they are so sound. But our education is very old. Benjamin Bloom's taxonomy, whatever we have been saying, earlier people never liked it. Now many engineering colleges have taken this idea. After referring to Washington Accord about the educational outcomes, many engineering colleges speak about the program outcome, course outcome, learning outcome, many things that they are speaking. Earlier, they were never used to speak. Therefore, we have to remember that it is education which has given so much. Management people speak about the lot of the motivational aspects. Maslow's hierarchy of needs. We have spoken so much about it in our education, but they have taken and they are branding and they are saying that it is working there. But how far we are motivating? There are some psychological departments wherein the moment when you enter, you will be more unpsychological to talk to them. Therefore, these are, I think, using my experience, I'm just saying 48 years, I've been there in teaching. Therefore, I learned quite a lot. I shared quite a lot. Still, I'm learning. Still, I wanted to be. Therefore, these are some of the important areas which we have to give professionalism. How far teacher education, in teacher education, professionalism is there. Then ethical component, how far we are taking. I think most of the institutions are doing. I'm not saying, I'm not denying, but only small percentages which have come. Maybe nobody is there to help them. Nobody is there to mentor them. Nobody is to nurture them. Therefore, they are like. Otherwise, in my opinion, every teacher education started with a good intention will never going to have any kind of bad, mighty fall. I can just definitely tell you. Then every institution faces and resolves various kinds of internal pressures and situations while doing this. Some meaningful practices. Then many times they say we have got a lot of problems, they say. All right, problems are there. What are our commitment to overcome these problems? Like in some universities in Karnataka, it is an open secret because I'm in Naac, I've got the data also. They say, sir, students are not coming for the MA department. I tell whatever B.Ed, at least B.Ed we are having, sir, MA they are not coming. Have you ever analyzed why the students are not coming for MA? Do we have any specific project done either at the MA level or at the PhD level to find out what are the reasons because of it that they are not coming forward? Then I told them, at least 50 students you are having. Can't you induce 2 students to go to the MA from your department? Like that, with 15 students, they can start their close the department then, sir. I was also the president of the Karnataka State Aided College Association. Well, sorry, vice president, then secretary. We have seen this. Therefore, I told them, why can't you start? Then you take the money from B.Ed and then tell them that scholarship will be given to the MA students. Sometimes universities are very happy. No, we are going to close means what? Now, once again, the NAP says, no, you have to, it is a good program. You have started earlier, they are saying. Anyhow, one important point I'm just highlighting here is every institution faces and resolves various kinds of pressures, etc., etc. How are we going to overcome and how are we going to come out with some kind of improvement? Then here, one point of such practices which are evolved internally by the institution leading to improvements in it. Then our best practice, how it will come means, we started some programs, some difficulties we had, then we got some kind of support from outside people, etc., etc. Now we made the system which was worst to become the best. Then that system which was worst, which has become best, will become your best practices. That's why in the criteria we have used the word institutional values and best practices. Best practices means not copying some things from somebody and then saying, we are also doing this. Like once in a month, we are bringing that potluck lunch sitting here and then it's our best practice. I think maybe, but we will say not in that way. 20 years back, 15 years back, what problem we had regarding one issue? How did you overcome that? Like, sir, we had one issue. Our institution is located here. Many students have to come from far off places, maybe like here or in other places. Therefore, all these years we have struggled. Now we have come out with some kind of pooling the money. All the staff members pooled. They contributed. A small hostel was built by us only now. And we are accommodating each one of us. We are looking after one student. Some contribution. Some kind of these things, if we just say that, adds to our best practices. Best practices are those I'm highlighting, underlining, are those which you have evolved, which you have arrived by overcoming some of the problems what we had earlier to this. Some degree colleges said, like Mount Carmel, we had every day some kind of difficulty regarding admissions. Now we made online admissions. Now no confusions, more democratic in our approach. Parents are happy, students are happy. This is our best practical project, we accept it. Anyhow, kindly keep this particular point and I go a little further. The best practice can be in the area of your academic side, in the area of your administrative side, in the area of your organization side. Outside the class, we are spending 1 hour. This practice is going on since 3 years or 4 years. To make every student to become very friendly with the computer, we are doing, if you say that can be a best practice. Therefore, this is very, very important. Now, let us come back to the 7th criteria only I am talking, friends. And the 3 broader key indicators are there. One key indicator is institutional values and social responsibilities. Therefore, what are the values that you are insisting upon the students? What are your core values that you would like to follow in your institution? I think Naac also insists. Before Naac's visit, many people did not know what is vision, what is mission, and what are core values. Now everybody have picked up. I think in the same way here also people will pick up. And therefore, every institution should declare these are our values. These are our core values. The moment you declare these core values should be reflected, and these core values should be addressed in our classroom situation. Or these core values should be addressed in our discussion, in our meetings, through our prayers, or through camp, camp cleaning process, or citizenship training camp, or we go for the educational tour. Wherever we go, these values should be kept in mind, and thereby the values should be imbibed. Mahatma Gandhi declared 2 values only: non-violence, truth. Throughout the life he declared, he practiced, he became a great person. Are we not supposed to insist these values? That's why the 7th key indicator indicates that institutional values and social responsibilities. What is our commitment for social responsibilities? Like in front of our house, there is a school. Many children struggle to go. No police fellow is there. Therefore, can you train one of our students or one of our security men can go there? And on behalf of your institution, can he stand there and can he help? Of course, depending upon your area, I'm saying, because it is not our concern, you may say. Then you can say, sir, it is our social responsibility, we are doing that. People from economically weaker section, we are addressing our responsibility. Divangel students addressing our responsibility. That's why there's a beautiful area. After having served in 47, 48 years, I am very happy about these things. We have to follow. Then what are your best practices, they are asking. But in Western countries, they use the word good practices, because I do not know, they don't believe in best or what. They say good practices. Even APQN, Asia Pacific Quality Network, there are many organizations, INQA. Therefore, they also believe in these good practices. They ask, what are your good practices? They make it mandatory that every institution should just report to us that these are our good practices, or these are the good practice. Then lastly, institutional distinctiveness, in what way your institution is different compared to other people, in what way it is. Sir, it is a residential area, fine. What else? Green campus, fine. Like that, what is the distinctiveness? Like that, the 7th criteria is very, maybe around 100 marks only weightage we have out of 1000, does not matter. These are 3 key indicators. And under each key indicator, we have got certain specific questions. And I will give a few examples only. The answer time factor, you can just tell me. Devanand sir?
No, sir. Please proceed.
Okay. Then I will take 7.1 institutional values and social responsibilities. Under that, we ask, the institution organizes gender equity promotion programs. The institution displays sensitivity to issues like climate change and environmental. Therefore, there is a question, what do we have any kind of programs regarding that? Therefore, you can declare and you can tell them that we have what. Institution displays sensitivity to issues like climate change. Therefore, you can have a digital board if possible. You can say climate is changing. Let students, whenever they are free, they can come, they can watch, they can get an idea. It is left to you. A lot of creativity is there. Like that, they may ask you. Then e-waste management, there can be a question like carbon neutral wastage may be there. Then green practices do we have? The institution facilitates the differently abled students. Effective dealing of location, advantages and disadvantages. So this is also another important point to use it. Many will say, what sir, our institution is located on the top of Sultan Batari. I think very difficult people to reach, etc. But could you consider that as a disadvantage or an advantage? If you say it is a disadvantage, can you convert that into advantages to your institution? Can you add one dimension of residential school life? Or something that you can just say, so that many people wanted to stay there. Sir, busy city, we do not want to. We want our trainees to be there. Therefore, you can convert that top hilly region institution into a residential institution where people feel like staying, enjoying the nature's beauty. All those things you can do it. Therefore, some questions are there regarding that you have to declare. Then they also will ask now social responsibility, as I mentioned, towards the Divyangjan and other people. Like that, there are a few questions wherein you can just answer. Now, about the best practice, as I already declared, I mentioned any practice or practices that the institution has internally evolved and used during the last few years, leading to positive impact on the regular functioning of the institution, can be identified as best practices. Like sometimes the government, students, absentees were more in number at the school level. Therefore, they said, for every day of attendance, 1 rupee will be given to you. Some incentive by the government, some governments have introduced that. Attendance improved. But I'm not saying that we have to use monetary factor only. These are not any activity prescribed by some authority. At some point of time, you have evolved. Therefore, please see that how many of you have evolved such best practices. Can you list them? Can you identify them? Can you name them? And can you own them? This practice is relevant mainly within the institution at a given point of time. It should be useful to your institution. It could be in respect of teaching, learning. It could be office practices. It could be maintenance and keeping of things, or dealing with human beings, or money matters, whatever it may be, you can. In brief, best practices are relevant within the institutional context and may pertain to either academic or administrative, whatever you can declare, but you should be able to evolve these things on your own. Now, I think already Madam gave a brief information about the different metrics in this 7th criteria. We have kept only 100 marks. As I told, only 100 marks we have kept now. Under that, we have got some 19 questions under institutional values and social responsibilities. Best practice is only one question we ask, 30 marks weightage. Institutional distinctiveness, you have to give some 500 words. You should be able to say how your institution is different compared to the other institutions. Maybe another. Totally 19 plus 1 plus 1, 21 metrics, 21 questions only will be having out of around 100 and odd. Now, some questions are like this. Very quickly, I pass on. A number of gender equity promotion programs that you have organized, they may ask you. That number part you can just give. Then, institution shows gender sensitivity in providing facilities such as safety and security. Do we have anything? Counseling, do we have any counseling, common room, etc.? I think they are fine. Because many students, they drop out from the course. And I have come across, even at the PhD level, I'm in touch with some programs. Students wanted to drop out because a lot of pressure from the guide, a lot of pressure from the institution. He finds it very difficult, but little bit of counseling will help them. Therefore, do we have that kind of counseling program? What is the safety measure for girls who are coming, ladies who are coming to the institution? I think some of these questions. Describe gender equity initiatives in 500 words you describe. When the people are coming for your visit.
Then the counseling, common room, safety.
Okay. Then one minute. Alternative energy initiatives now. Everybody is, sir, power cut. Therefore, we can't do anything now. If there is a power cut, we say, all right, sir, what to do? There is a power cut, we can't do anything. But can't you have your own alternative energy support from your own institution? Do you have a generator? Do you have a solar?
Alternative energy.
Madam, I think I will give you time at the end if you want. Please do not interfere. Then Naac recently has undertaken, and we have converted our campus into a campus, green campus. Now every year we are getting a lot of prize from horticulture department. But last year we are using the energy only from the solar energy only for all our purpose. We are using in Naac. There is a very important point, interesting point to share. Even in the Kochi campus, for example, they announced that Kochi campus, the complete airport is managed by the solar power. Therefore, I think they ask very simple questions like that about energy and initiatives. Do you have it? What is the annual power requirement you require? What are the other alternatives? Some smart data we are asking. And at the same time, we wanted to know how much you are spending. Can you reduce that money? Can you utilize that money for some other purpose?
Excuse me, sir. Anupama madam from JP College, please switch off your mic.
Yeah. Then
Anupama madam, please switch off your mic.
Okay. Sir, then for one important point, supposing we ask a question, you will answer it in your SSR, you will submit fine. But very important point is, under every question, we have got a statement. Then we have got some alternatives in case you want to select anyone. Below that, we ask you file description is equally important. Upload any additional information you want to. Upload details of power requirements for institution. How much power your institution requires. How are you managing? Then, like that, we want some kind of data from your side. Without data, no, sir. Some around we are spending, or I am not very sure. We are not very sure. We are not maintaining. Management will be maintaining. But as a principle, we expect you also to have a correct database about these basic things and provide the evidences. Your electric bill sometimes will be an evidence for us, an electric bill. Or if you have purchased a generator and if you are using it, a geotag photo wherein you are using a generator which is helping, it will. Always in Naac, we insist upon the evidences in terms of the documents. Then percentage of annual lighting power, lighting, fan, etc., different details, continuation of that only. Then waste management steps including, this is very, very important. In some of the campus, a lot of plastic waste is there. The moment when you entered, the plastic covers and waste things will welcome us first, But I think cleanliness is next to godliness, people will say. Therefore, solid waste management, what do you do? Liquid waste management, what do you do? E-waste management, what do you do? Now here, for universities, certain things are very much applicable. I think president is also there. For university, it's very much applicable. But for our teachers' college, it may not be so much, but we have to take the essence of it and have to move with it. I think that is my message to all of them. So our university, big university, they have got big campus, etc. We have got 4 to 5 acres of land and our requirements, and 2 units of students, only 100. I can understand all those things. But however, you should have a clear idea. Then, in case paste link for additional information, wherever you have got a big information to provide, simply you give us a link. The moment when you click the link, we should be able to get all kinds of information. Like that, the waste management you can keep the different categories like pertaining to electronics. Electronics waste management you may not do because you may not be having electronics laboratory where a lot of waste will become not applicable to you. But whatever applicable, you should be able to. Then rainwater harvesting structures and utilization in the campus, very, very important. Sometimes you have seen in the paper how people will struggle during summer to get one bucket of water standing in queues, especially lower middle class people. And our social responsibility, you can also have one or two bore wells and you can put them for the use of your community people. That will get little more weightage for you to get a better credits. In that way, social responsibility, under that also you can use the rainwater. You can make other people to use this rainwater. Lot of ways to help. Ways to help. Therefore, converting waste into wealth is the principle here. Converting waste into wealth. Rainwater harvesting, how do you do, describe, etc. Upload information because we want evidence. Sir, we are having rainwater. Every year we are storing. How much? Our evidence is. You say there are no evidences here, but we want evidences there. Photo, video, very important. Geo-tagged photos. And apart from that, utility. So these are the amount of rainwater we are collecting. And see the plants here, the banana plants, mainly through this. Other plants. There are different, many are all doing, but most of us, we may not document, and the Naac says kindly document the whole thing. Green practices. Now, green auditing. There are universities where they go for green auditing. There are agencies, they will come. Even recently for Naac, one agency came. They will supervise and they are going to certify. Therefore, green practices equally important as climate change, what is happening. If 1 degree change in the climate, what will happen? If continuously, if rain is coming, I think Kerala we have seen, Karnataka we have seen, other parts, North India we have seen what is happening there. Therefore, now a lot of unexpected things are happening because man is responsible in destroying the nature and in bringing some kind of destruction to the balanced way of living. Therefore, the consequence is like uneven rains. A place where they used to get a lot of rain is not there, other place they are getting. Oh, this is happening. Therefore, how best you can make your campus green campus? Then for students, what are your basic things like bicycles? 30 years back, we were just saying, near Infosys, if you enter, they used to say, bicycles are all standing and umbrellas are put there. I asked them why. No, campus is there, people have to walk a lot of distance. Therefore, anybody can go pick up a vehicle, go on their own. Now they have got the eco-friendly vehicles are also there. You can sit like a motorized wheelchair. You can go sit from one corner to the other corner, you can go. In that way, a lot of facilities people are talking about providing the bicycles to move inside, or public transport for the outside people to come, then pedestrian-friendly roads, plastic-free campus, then paperless office. Now, e-office, we call it as e-office now. Now, Naac is also moving towards e-office, where the hard papers are not used. We are going to reduce it and everything. Website go, send a mail, director will look into it, director approves the whole thing there. Therefore, the whole thing will happen there only. Then green landscaping with the trees and plants, which I told long back. Describe efforts towards green practices on the campus within maximum of 5 minutes. They ask you, you please describe and tell us how we have done it. That data you have provided. PRT members will come with the data. They ask you, you said 200 trees you have grown. Please show me your 200 trees. Sir, they are all 200 trees. They ask you, kindly number the trees. Through that, you'll come to know first tree is what, 203 is what. But don't miss the number in between. Then file descriptions also will be asked. Average percent expenditure on green initiatives. How much of money you are spending for waste management? Green initiatives. Many will say, sir, management knows about it. We don't interfere with the management. But the Naac expects principal should know about it. Principal get the information from the management and get and provide all this information. This is also very equally important there. And then differently abled people, are you providing them some facilities like physical facilities, provision for lift, any possibility. At least lift is not there, ramp facility. Then braille facilities, restroom facilities, scribes for examination. The other day they were saying, transgender. Sir, there is no bathroom. There are 1 or 2 students like that. These students are afraid to go to the male toilet, and at the same time, they are also afraid to go to the female toilet where they have to go. They belong to a different gender altogether. Therefore, this issue came. Therefore, they said, all right, why can't you convert that into? In that way, there are few issues out there. Then, scribes for examination, do you provide that? Special skill development program. In that way, any other thing in case you are having, they ask some details, you should be able to provide. Then all these things I have just mentioned there. Then inclusion and situatedness, which I have already told now. Specific initiative to address local advantages and disadvantages. If your institution is in a coastal area, for example, any disadvantage, or a river belt, supposing if it is there, now how do you overcome? There are many issues out there. The number of initiatives taken to engage with and contribute to local community during the last 5 years. Community involvement, they asked. Because even the multinational companies, they have got a scheme known as a social responsibility, corporate social responsibility scheme. So I think something like CSR they will be having. They keep some percentage of money from their profit. You can approach some of the industries which are close to you. Ask them, we want some kind of help for our institution, sir. Under your CSR scheme, they are ready to do it. It will be a 2-year program. You can have collaborations, you can have MOUs. Many people are there in the name of MOUs and collaborations. Simply, if you go, they may not like it. If you go in the name of collaborations, it's a win-win situation. Definitely, they like it, you can provide. Then code of conduct handbook exists for your students, teachers, etc. I think this is equally important. Code of conduct. Can't you put that in your website? Code of conduct, for example, nowadays a lot of things are happening there about the uniform and so many things. You put it there. You say we are going to insist upon. At the time of admission, you can tell them. Any extreme case comes, you have to manage with them. In that way, code of conduct, handbooks, or ethics related books if you are having, or redressal, supposing any kind of issues with the redressal now. Do you have a redressal? To address the redressal, any cell is there. Then the details can also put it online. Everybody should know about it. Therefore, in other countries, parents will come to know many things by referring to the information in the website of the institution. They simply go, every information is provided now. Any support for Divang, press there, they get a lot of information. Therefore, in that way, your website should speak more about your institution. When you want your website to speak more about, not in terms of fees, the college, the courses, etc., there are many other. Then even group insurance scheme. Some students are coming to your institution. On the way, something happens to them. Therefore, parents are very poor. They are not going to get any kind of insurance benefit. Therefore, insurance agents are there to help you regarding that. We have the insurance scheme for your people, social security program. I think there are many things which you can. Then display of core values in the institution and on its website, which I've already told now. Here and there you can mention your core values. Like in our institution, we respect every individual. Male or female, we don't differentiate. We don't differentiate in terms of race, in terms of color, in terms of religion. We don't differentiate. Like that, the core values. Here and there, if you put now, simply if students glance at it, they get a lot of understanding, motivation, and they can commit themselves. Then institution plans and organizes appropriate activities to increase consciousness about national identities, symbols, fundamental duties, rights, Indian citizens. I think this is equally important, very, very important. Most of us, they do not know our own constitution, what it speaks. Therefore, you can say many certificate courses you can organize. Sir, we are organizing a certificate course on our constitutional obligations to make people to know about it. I think very, very interesting. And then institution offers a course on human values and professional ethics. Therefore, you can offer a course on human values or 2 credit course on human values. 2 credit course on this you can have on professional ethics. And you also can insist your students to do something. Because some of our teacher educators are fond of speaking there. They were okay.
Class use பண்ணப்ப யாராவது வந்து கிட்ட ஏன் கிளாஸ் யூஸ் பண்ணு
Sir, we'll come back to you. Please hold on. Please don't make noise. Hold on.
நாளைக்கு நீங்க லீவ் நீங்க
Madam, hold on. Then
ரைட் அப்படின்னா
Next one.
நானும் வந்து படிக்கிறேன் உங்க கூட
institution functioning code of prescribed.
நானும் ட்ரை
Statutory
பண்றேன்
bodies, regulatory bodies do we have now?
ஆனா மார்க் தர மாட்டேன் எழுதுறத காட்ட மாட்டேன்.
Do we have a governing council? All these things we have some lot of questions in there.
நானும் வரேன்.
Then number of activities conducted for promotion and universal values. I think which I have already mentioned, value related programs are equally important. We talk about global peace, we talk everywhere about that information. Institution organization national festivals you are all organizing, in what are you organizing in a different way? I think seventh one is very, very interesting criteria in my opinion. Institution maintains complete transparency in its financial, academic, administrative, very, very important. There are institutions where every faculty member knows approximately how much is the income, how much is the expenditure. It will not be very much in detail, like approximately like. In that way, transparency regarding financial matter, transparency regarding your academic programs, inputs, the theory classes, practical classes, number of hours of input, morning, evening, etc. Administrative and auxiliary functions probably. And then institutional best practices, whatever you are having, we are asking you to describe any two, and 30 marks will be there. Two best practices you have. One best practice will carry 15 marks, other also will carry 15 marks. One is, if you can define, good. If you can explain how you have done it, fine. If the PRT members convinced now, out of 15, you are easily get around 12 marks, 13 marks. Then institutional distinctiveness, in what way your institution is very distinct. Sir, we provide midday meal free of cost from our side. Management is so generous. Maybe your institutional distinctiveness. In that way, you can just do that. And whenever you are submitting a project, they ask you what the title of the best practice, object of the best practice, the context in which you have arrived at the best practice, the practice details regarding evidences of success in the practice, like that. They ask you to provide information regarding the best practice to this. Then problems encountered and resources required with respect to the best practice aspects. Now they are going to ask. Now, friends, I think this is what I wanted to share. And therefore, altogether 21 metrics or 21 questions are there under criteria number 7. Altogether, it will be around 153 or so. But teacher education, some metrics are quite specific. All informations are available on our www.naac.gov.in. It is available there. All informations. Now it is a user-friendly information. I think you can get it. I think this is what I want to share. Dr. Shivpal Singh, no? Yeah, our president. This is what I want to share, Dr. Shivpal Singh ji, Dr. Madam ji, and also Dr. Devanand ji. This is what I want to share. Now, anything is there, one or two questions, I would be very happy to share. Thank you very much for the opportunity given. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yes, I will.
So I think, Madam,
Yes, yes.
Sarabjit Kaur, Madam,
Yeah.
we can utilize a few minutes to interact with our respected SRIKANTASWAMY, sir. It's a very, very informative session. So I think our participants should be beneficial by the interaction. Please, over to Tripta.
Definitely, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, sir has elaborated very well the 7 criteria in a very detailed manner. And
Thank
I
you.
request the participants to put up their questions in the chat box so that Dr. Sushila may take up the questions for interaction session. I request Dr. Sushila Narang to take up the question or interactive session for the further proceedings. Over to Dr. Sushila Narang. I think Madam is not responding. Dr. Tripta, are you there? Okay. I think both are not responding. So the question is regarding the best practices, sir. Which practices you would suggest in the rural areas, which are colleges which are located in the remote areas, sir? If you can suggest some of them.
Yeah. Madam, as I said, I think my role is not to suggest the best practice. But my role is to tell you that what would be the possibility of evolving the best practices. For example, the rural side students, let us say they are not coming on time because of transportation problem. Therefore, just I am visualizing that, number one. Therefore, what you have to do, all these years you have faced, now onwards you have to just see what best can be done. Number one, can you change the timings from 8:30 or 9 o'clock to 9:30 or 10 o'clock to 10:30? Number one. Now, like that, you take one particular issue and then see how it can be addressed now. And after addressing how it is going to work so that improvement is there. Like those students who are coming irregular, now you brought some change, therefore now they are regular, you are happy about it. Then similarly, the staff members who are coming irregular, now they are regular. For that, what is the strategy that you have thought of? I think that can go for the best practice. Today, you can start this year, it may work 30%, then try to get some feedback, it may work 40%. Within 2 years or 3 years, you should be able to say, this is going to be our best practice. Then rural children are coming, some of the children, they are coming without raincoat or without that. Therefore, can you have a small fund by means of which the students who are coming there, they can be helped there. In that way, I think a brainstorming session at your institution would be better. You can sit there, discuss what are the issues, how you can address, how you can proceed, you go ahead. Then if it works very well, then you can claim that it is your best practice. And then you can claim irregularity, then less performance. Now improved, the regularity improved, and performance also has improved. Result has been improved. In that, if you can connect to all these aspects, and then when you claim it is our best practice, we accept it. That's all. I don't know. Madam, are you convinced now?
Yeah,
Hello.
thank you so much, sir.
I've given a clue.
Thank you,
That's
sir.
all. I've given a
My
clue.
next question is regarding the management of e-wastage.
Okay.
Because in rural and border areas, we don't have some centers for collection of e-wastage.
Correct.
Do we have some kind of list of the centers that collect the e-wastage from the institutions?
I think it is possible only, like we have got in Bangalore BBMP, you know. Yeah, if we can write to those authorities, like we are not having a better management plan in order to disclose this, waste now. Like that, if you can write to them, they will give you some kind of guidance where they can come once in 15 days or once in 20 days, they can collect it. It is possible. You work out. And there are some people who are collecting the old paper, old materials, etc. They also may be interested if you can have some kind of small understanding with them. They also will come regularly, collect the waste materials, and they go. Like in cities, you know, green, we have got wet waste, we have got dry waste. Similarly, we have got the other category of waste. Under that category, they come and they help. You can plan for it. Don't be a big thing. Okay.
Hello.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much, sir.
Thank you,
Now
ma'am.
over to Dr. Tripta Parmar for further proceeding of the session.
Thank you. Sir, there is a question in the chat box. Can we put some best practices on the last year for this year also? Means, can we carry on the best practice of the last year to the present year also?
Yeah, I think there are two ways of looking at it. Madam, number one, best practices of the year. Under the title, you can go number one. Number two, best practice of the institution. The moment when you say best practice institution, the year will not come. Year will never come. Supposing for first cycle, you have gone 5 years back. Now, within these 5 years, you have come out with two best practices. Therefore, you can just say these are the two best practices of the institution, best practice institution. Under that category only, you can submit the data to the NAC. Then, within that, if you want to claim, among the two best practices, the second one is the best practices for the last year. If one we can mention, that's all. Otherwise, it will not matter much.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Still, one more question is over there.
Yeah.
Should the best practice be notified in the AQR?
Exactly, very important, because
Right.
you have to mention, because your AQR is called Annual Quality Assurance Reporter. What do you call that? Therefore, you wanted to assure.
Yes, sir. There is specified questions in AQR. We have to state. They have asked it very precisely. So it's mandatory to, it's mandatory. to
Exactly.
announce that your
Yeah,
best
yeah,
practice. Right,
Exactly.
sir.
Therefore, you have to
Right, sir.
enter it there and you have to proceed there. Fine.
So one more question. Sir, you see, there is a phenomena of dropping admissions in education, teacher education institutions because of immigration and so many other factors.
Okay.
Will it affect the score of the college?
I think so. The reason is not very much, but you have to convince them why it is happening. Is it a temporary phenomenon or a permanent phenomenon? Or it is going to be a permanent phenomenon, means they say, they ask you to check that. In that way, small correction is there to the marks, definitely. If
Moreover,
you-
sir,
Yeah.
sir, we can also mention that the phenomena is not affecting the particular institution, but it's affecting all the institution. Then it will be justified.
Yeah, you can justify. Definitely, they can convince. Now you can justify. It will
Right,
not affect your
right.
marks.
Thank you so much, sir. Any other
Sir,
queries
sir-
from the participants? Anyone?
Sir, I have a doubt
Yeah, yes.
regarding the best practices.
Yeah.
So can we include the academic, any novel, innovative academic practices can be included in the best practice?
Definitely. Therefore, under the best practice, we said, best practice can be related to administrative aspect, academic aspect, or any other aspect in general. Therefore, even the academic side also, this is the best practice. But that best practice should be little unique practice, in my opinion. Unless it is very unique, if it is a casual done by other institution and we have taken like that and we are saying it is a best practice, we may not appreciate. You should be able to say, it is something like you face a problem. According to me, to arrive at the best practice, the initial stage would be you had a problem, you faced a problem, you wanted to overcome the problem. In the process of overcoming and finding solution to the problem, you have arrived at the best practice. You can go ahead.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sir, one more question is over there. Please give me a moment. Sir, for many years, the best practices should be carried on for claiming as a best practice of the institution.
You can carry on as the best practice institution. You can carry on for many also. But
Right, sir.
But one cycle to other cycle, if they say there is a tendency that it may affect your marks. All right, all the 10 years, because many changes have occurred, do you think that the same best practice holds good now also? Don't you think that within 10 years some changes occurred? In that way, people also may ask some cross question. If you can defend it, is good. Fine.
Right, sir. Right, sir. Sir, is there any maximum period? Just a minute. Sir, is there any minimum period for claiming best practice? Is it necessary to get entry and exit data for
No.
for the same?
No, definitely no, not.
Right, sir. Right, sir. I think we have taken all the questions. So if any question is left, you can ask yourself by unmuting yourself, participants.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Ma'am, my question is, what is the criteria for teacher education institutions? Or 7.1 मैं देखा था, ma'am. So in this criteria have 60 marks, 60 weightage marks, updated in
Teacher education manual.
2019.
Yeah.
And the next criteria, 7.2 weightage is 20 and 7.3 weightage is 20 also. So, and in last 7.1 have 9 matrix, 7.2 have 1 matrix, or 7.3 have 1 matrix also. So in the explanation by the sir, 7.1 have 19 matrix, and 7.2 have 2 matrix, 7.3 have 2 matrix also. And how we fill SSR this particular criteria? This is my question, sir.
Now, I think, as I said, a small variation is there from university manual to the college manual. Similarly, college manual to the teacher education manual. Kindly refer to the teacher education manual. You can go to our website and then check that one, number one, latest, whatever is there, you have to check that, number one. And number two, even the SSR in the same order you can provide. same number of questions as mentioned in our teacher education manual. You take that and you keep on answering accordingly and provide the necessary data. If it is a QNM, we give you the table at the back of the manual, or back of the manual also you'll be having. Data template we call, you refer to it and provide the data as per. If it is a QLM, within 500 words, you can explain. That's all. Therefore, you can stick on to the number of the metrics available in teacher education manual right now. You can go ahead with that. That's all.
Thank you. Thank you so
Okay,
much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yes. Yeah.
Any other questions? Any other query? I think all the doubts are clear. So thank you so much for such an elaborative talk, your patience listening and clarifying the doubts of the participants.
Yeah.
Good morning, madam. I want to ask one question, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Most welcome. Most welcome.
Okay. If we are doing the function with the other NGOs, like in MOU with other NGOs, is
Yeah.
it also called as a best practice, sir, if it is useful to our students or to the society?
Yeah. I think now it can be under two categories. One can be collaborations with other agencies. Under that category,
Yes.
also some people
Yes.
will claim this. But
Yes.
you have to make sure under what category you are going to claim. If you are claiming not under the collaboration and claiming under the best practice, it can be. Then you have to mention what was the situation crisis earlier, what was the need for you to have this NGO intervention, and how the NGO intervention has helped you to improve. Collaboration. You have to mention it is not independent NGO intervention. NGO in collaboration with the institution has improved, means you may give weightage to best practice.
Yes, sir. Sir, suppose government projects are there, that also can be called as a best practice, sir, if it is useful for our students.
No. Government projects supporting in nature, that cannot be.
Okay, sir. Okay, thank you, sir.
70 to 80%, your effort, your identification of the crisis, your effort, you are showing the improvement. Taking some 20-30% help from the other is okay. Right.
No, financially only they will be helping remaining other things.
No, that is we give weightage under different category, like financial help received. Under that
Okay,
you
sir. Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Okay,
Anyone else?
Okay. We will
Seven, sir.
to.
Then,
Yeah.
if there are no questions from my side,
okay, sir.
If there are no questions, shall I thank you?
Yeah. We will conclude.
1 minute.
Yes, we will conclude.
Yeah.
And also,
Devanand, sir, my request.
am I audible to you?
Yeah.
Sir, we are planning that to organize a cell for helping all the participants.
Yeah.
So I request you to be a member here. So you also can help all the participants while they are asking some doubts and sharing in the group.
Okay, fine.
Okay, sir.
Okay, fine. That's
Thank you.
Then anyhow,
Great idea, sir.
kindly I request Shivpal Singh and as well as Devanand ji to see how best you can motivate the institutions to go for the Naac. Because I am not propaganding or I am not an ambassador to the Naac, but as a person from teacher education, I feel if you wanted to know in which direction you are going, you want some certification. Therefore, may I request all my the teacher education heads, kindly prepare yourself and go to the Naac accreditation and see where do you stand. And the moment when you stand at the A grade, you are extremely good. Otherwise, if you are at the B level, you can think of some measures by means of which you can move towards A. Unless we do, I think our image of teacher education may not be very much visible to the outside world. This is my sincere request through Dr. Devanandan and as well as through Shivpal ji. I think with this, I thank all of you for your kind, affectionate invitation towards me and making me to use and share my limited knowledge to the experienced people like you are. Thank you very much. Thank you, madams, and thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Sir, thank you so much for such an interactive session. Now for the formal vote of thanks, over to Dr. Gangadhar KS, Joint Secretary, Principals Association of Colleges of Education, Dr. Gangadhar KS. Dr. Gangadhar, are you available, please?
She's available, but out of network, it seems. Gangadhar sir.
His video is there at the audio call.
Yes, sir. Gangadhar sir.
So it was really a great session. You have motivated all of us. We are facing one great threat, that is the low admission. Otherwise, we are doing for the Naac, we are preparing for everything. But this is the factor that is out of our control.
I know, madam. Okay. We will see how best it can be improved. Let us hope and pray that it will be improved. We'll just see.
Okay.
Right.
Gangadhar sir. Gangadhar sir, am I audible to you? Gangadhar sir.
I think network problem.
Yeah.
Fine, sir. Then, Dr. Devanandan, you can extend the vote of thanks, please.
Okay, no issue. So actually, our workshop started today because it was inauguration yesterday. Today, yeah, Gangadhar sir, are you there?
Sir, I'm audible to you, sir.
Yeah, please, over to you, sir.
Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you. Sir, very good morning to all my beloved professors. PACE functioning in keeping quality of teacher education across the country. So I'm very thankful to our beloved president, Dr. Shivpal Singh ji, has taken very good initiation in carried out all the activities, particularly an insight program and all, sir. So a renowned, very good name of Dr. SRIKANTASWAMY in Karnataka, a well-known educationist and very good resource person and very good orator. When we requested him over the phone, he is unconditionally accepted and providing his excellent ideas for institutional aspects. Really, you are given a valuable and educating, very good sharing the knowledge, sir. We are very thankful to you, Dr. SRIKANTASWAMY, sir. When I was a postgraduate student, we are listening to your classes and all, sir. I am very thankful on behalf of PACE and all the participants. And our PACE organization, the boon of our organization, Dr. Devanandan, sir, has taken utmost initiation in carried out on all the activities in each and every respective mannerism and all. So we are on behalf of PACE and on all the participants, we are really thankful to you, sir. And our coordinator, Dr. Sarbjit Singh Kaur, madam, she is coordinating everything. I am very thankful to you on behalf of all of participants and PACE, madam. And Dr. Tripta Parmar and Sushila Naac, madam, our present here today's anchor, we are thankful to you, madam. And respected participants who have joined the hands in order to encourage the PACE for particularly Insight program. Really thankful each and everyone. Thank you, sir. Thank you, one and all. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat Mata. Thank you, sir. Over to the please.
Thank you, Dr. Gangadhar. So now I request all the participants to stand in honor of Jan Gan Man. Thank you, everyone. We will be on the same platform tomorrow.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
No session tomorrow, Dr. Devanandan?
Yeah, thank you.
In the schedule, it is on 23rd.
Yeah.
There is no session for tomorrow. We will be meeting.
Please check the schedule, everybody.
Sir, the schedule is just before me, sir. There is no session on 22nd. And we will be meeting on 23rd of July, 2022 at 4 p.m. from 4 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. And we will be talking on criteria 1 curricular aspects. Thank you so much, everyone, for sparing your valuable time and being with us, making this event a grand success. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Namaste.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.